Okay, it says I'm live. All righty then. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is your intrepid host, Mr. David Null, aka also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, my Native American shaman name. So, I greet you with honor and blessings. Peace be unto you, all of your friends and relatives, and I wish you well from my soul heart and my heart soul to you. Okay, that's for real. Now, what is this discussion about? Now, I've been doing videos on what I consider transition basics, and these have been, for all intents and purposes, in a way, channelings, if you will, from my spirit guide or my guardian angel, however you want to look at it. Okay. And it basically is basic. It's really just kind of common sense things about what to think about, what to do, how do we attain enlightenment? How do we get there from here? I continue to discuss that spiritualism has nothing to do with religion. Okay. Now, I also make the statement that there are those folk who don't know how to be spiritual without a religion. They 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 have to tie it to something. And I continue to say this with all a good heart and intentions. If you need to be religious, to be spiritual, understand that you don't need the religion. But if you got to have it, okie dokie. But be spiritual. Look at your core values. So this particular video, and I title this with much love and respect to all beings, really, this dimension and others. Um, are you stuck on the road to enlightenment? Question. Now, I can't make any judgment calls for you. All right. It's not my place to say, oh, well, you're farther along than that person. But there are some certain things that I discuss with this transition basics. And the transition is what a lot of people are calling ascension or maybe the rapture or whatever. And the spirit beings are saying, please clarify this for people. It's a transition. It's not a rapture. It's not an ascension. It's a transition. We are moving into a different phase. Okay. Now they have likened it in so many words or pictures actually of standing on a high cliff and the ocean's down below you. You don't know what's in the ocean. You don't know anything about it, but somebody says, okay, it's ascension, jump. Now, if you're going to ascend, you're going to think I'm going to jump and I'm going to go up. Okay. The cliff and the jumping off into the water, this is just an analogy. Would you jump into unknown waters without first getting your feet wet and wading around? That's the idea of this. It's a transition. We all need to learn how to work in this new reality and in this new realm. So I've spoke on this a couple of times in a couple of videos, and I think I've kind of pissed a few people off, and that was not my intention. And this probably is going to require several more videos for people to understand and clarify maybe what I'm trying to get across. Are you stuck on the road to enlightenment? And I got this picture today of folks in these little communities on this, what I consider the red road or the Native American road, the red road, that you stay on the red road and do what is proper, good, and, for all beings, Mother Earth, etc. It's all about honor and respect and tradition. It is about individuality. If you're better at making cookies than I am, then I'm going to come get cookies from you. But I know how to fix your plumbing, so when your sink stops up, I'll trade you for cookies. We all are in this same boat together. We're all human beings on this planet Earth, and we are all spiritual beings at the same time. We all occupy the same space, if you will, being planet Earth. And therefore, we also share the energy field that is around this Earth. So we are part of Mother Earth, whether we agree to acknowledge it or not, you still are. You're still a part of the energy of this Earth, of the and of the cosmos. But let's just stick to the Earth. Let's keep it simple in this. But so people want to say, well, okay, well, I'm studying. I feel more spiritual. I'm learning about my Akashic records. I'm learning about the Anunnaki, and I'm learning about this, and I'm learning about that. That's all really good. But what is being asked of me to speak to you about is that, are you stuck? Meaning, okay, well, I've learned that I'm an empath and I've learned this. Okay. But once you learned that, did you move from that point, or are you stuck there? You're still on the road to enlightenment, if you will, but are you progressing? Are you further down the road? Not necessarily than the next guy, but for yourself. Did you stop and take a look around and go, whoa, look, I'm an empath? And look, I don't mean this in any kind of negative way, all right? Being an empathic or learning that you have skills, that's what this transition is about. However, some folk are, and I've been watching some of these folks for years now, and YouTube, different chats and radio, all different kind of venues I check out. I have over 300 different venues that I check, plus other items, almost on a daily basis. I go through different things. I'm checking here or there. I'm a watcher. I'm a watchman. I'm a communicator. I'm keeping an eye out on the weird stuff. Okay. But what I'm noticing, though, in some folks is they've reached a particular point, and they've realized I'm on the right path. Holy crap, I'm here and I'm meeting other people on this same journey. That is a wonderful thing. And so they're having these little group meetings in the middle of this dirt road, red road, if you will. But it's really groovy, but they've all made this little community, and there are lots of them. I'm here to tell you, look, 2 or 3 people, 5, 10 people, 100, 500 people. There are groups of all different sizes and they're not really a clique. It's just 2 or more people who have clicked between themselves. So it's not like it's, oh, my group's better than yours. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is though that people have realized certain things, and they're having so much fun in the realization that, oh my God, I'm on the road. I have these powers, if you will, whether it's empathic or telepathic, or I have a talent for something, that's more than just here in the physical. Maybe it's communication. Maybe I can do readings for someone. These are all positive things. I want you to understand, I'm saying these are all positive things. But some of these newcomers are on the road, and they're having so much of an awareness party, which is good, but they haven't progressed down that path. They're not any closer to enlightenment because they're kind of stuck within these little realms. Now it's good because they're finding out about where they are in this reality. This is all good things. But the thing is that I've noticed that some of these folks aren't moving forward any. If anything, they're going backwards. They're revisiting things they've already discussed. And okay, we're having more conversations, and we're bringing, and other people are learning. But some of this stuff is like, y'all talked about this a year ago, and it's really good to like discuss it again. But y'all are the same people having the same discussion a year later. And in my opinion, you're rehashing the same thing. Yes, it's a good thing to discuss, but you're not moving. You're stuck. Folks are stuck. They're on the path. They're heading for enlightenment. They all have good intentions, But with all of their choices, of all of the avenues of where they could go, they're stuck. Well, this, over here, yeah. When this is, and I'm not saying that this is bad, but I am saying maybe some folk need to take a look, a nitty gritty, hard ass look at, am I standing still? We all want this. We all wish to be enlightened. We all do. I'm speaking in a positive here. But at the same point, I wish these folks to take the next step. Keep going. Yeah, what you're doing, it's all real groovy, but you guys, you're still there. Next step, there are other steps to this. Don't stop where you're at. You stand in the middle of the road and everybody's having this really good touchy feely, and it's all good, but everybody is stuck. Everybody's talking with each other. Ooh, this is groovy, and it's all enlightening, and it's all good shared knowledge, but folks ain't moving. We're still in the same spot. They're not progressing. Now I can't necessarily say like there is a specific thing. These folks are new to this. I've been practicing this for the last 50 years. So I can say this. Some of these folks are kids at this. All right. Some of these folks are just starting in. I get it. I'm glad y'all are here. I really, really am. But of all the things I've learned with the wisdom that I wish to share with people is, hey, what you've learned is really good. Now, keep going. Don't stop there. Keep going. There's another step to this. Yeah, but you're still rehashing this. Keep going. Move that away. Oh, but I'm on the path to enlightenment. Yeah, but you're standing still. Well, well, because you're still there. That's my point. You're still talking the same stuff a year later. Move on. Next subject. Keep going. And these folks don't realize they're stuck. I got stuck. That's why I'm having this conversation with y'all. I realize it's easy to get stuck. What is my next thing? Where do I go next? Well, I was staying so I was looking in so many different corners for the answer. I was spending all my time looking, not listening. Look over here, look for that, listen to this one, listen to that one. I've listened to thousands of people and discussions and been in chat rooms. And I mean, and that's not counting the thousands of people that I've interacted with in the chat rooms. So I have a little bit of experience with this. I have knowledge of this, and I'm trying to help you. Look at your situation. How long have you been aware of what you are aware of? Have you moved from your situation? Have you progressed any? Or after, I'm just saying, look at your own life, look at your own little pattern here, and I mean this with respect, but are you moving on the path? Or are you just on the path? Wow, I found the path to enlightenment. Yeah, but you're just standing there. Are you going to walk it, crawl it, inch it, whatever? Or are you just going to sit down on that path to enlightenment? You're going to move forward? Now, this isn't about leaps and bounds, but I've just noticed that there are quite a few people who seem to, it looks like they're making headway, and the vision I got is there are swirls of energy, 3, 4, 5 people in a group. And now this was the vision I got. This has nothing. There are no people in my brain that I'm saying this. You're part of this, okay? This is just people in general, all right? Folks in general, conversations in general. They're happy to be on this path of enlightenment. They are on it, but they don't realize that they're standing still. So the vision that I got was that there were little groups of people on the red road extending off to the horizon, whether flat earth or round, okay, but off to the horizon. And there were people on this red road, the path to enlightenment, all along the path. So it was almost like I was in a drone looking down, and I could see these groups of folk. Everybody was on the path. Some folks were being helped out of the ditch onto the path. Folks were helping folks all along the red road, all along this path to enlightenment. But what I noticed was there were very few people who were walking forward. There were lots of groups, some of them kind of big, some of them just one or two people or three or four small groups, maybe five, maybe little groups of folk. And they were swirling within their own group. In other words, they were moving, but they weren't moving ahead. The energy that they were creating with their group was creating like a little tornado, if you will, a little energy vortex. And that between the 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of them, it was usually just 4 or 5 in my vision, was that, looking down at them, and they were moving, in a direction, but they weren't moving forward. So in their enlightenment, they felt the motion, but the motion, when observed from someplace else, the motion was circular and not linear, so that their progression was just around and around in a circle, so that they were actually meeting themselves coming back around. Now, my job as an observer, my job as the communicator, my job is to notice these things. Now, I'm not trying to condemn anybody, because everybody that I've noticed is on the path. But I'm a little concerned about some folks because they seem to literally be going in little circles on the path. They're not making any progress. They're not moving forward. They're not, their questions and some of their answers that they're getting are helping them. But instead of moving down the road, if you will, the motion is circular and they're stuck in the path. And I have had several, sure enough, wake me up, roll me on the floor, sit up going, what the hell was that about? Little pictures of this, that it is about all of us moving down the road. It's not how fast, it really isn't. And the people that I saw in this, I've seen this vision several times now, 5 or 6 times over these last 10 days. So, but it's like in the last 2 days, it's been like really strong. I mean, I'm getting him like sitting here talking to you. It's like there's this vision there. And so when I'm closing my eyes, I'm taking little snapshots of what the picture looks like. But there are people, so there's a group, here's a group, here's a group. They're not all lined up, but they're all on the road. But there are individual people who are like making their way between the small groups. And there's one here, there's one up here, and there's one back in the back. They're all moving forward, but they're singular. There aren't 2 people standing side by side. There are singular people making forward motion. Everyone else is in a circle of sorts, and their energy is just going around in this little vortex. And over the people, I could literally see this vortex of energy. But the thing is that it was stationary. It was good energy. Everybody there was cool. But at the same point, it was like, but this vortex of energy kept them from going down the path. to enlightenment any further. It was like holding them in this spot. And I see it really clearly in this vision thingy picture. And it's like, but it today, when it was showed to me, it was showing me the negative vortexes that the energy on the road was creating, because there wasn't I hate to say it, forward, but progressive, that these vortexes were actually creating eddies of non space on the path to enlightenment. I know a non space. It's that the group of 3, 4, 5, they were all on the road, but their collective thinking, even though it was in a good way, even though it was for enlightenment, the vortex was creating a non space on the road itself. So literally, the road was gone around in between them, in front of them or inside the circle. There was no road. So they were like standing around an open pit. And that really concerned me. It concerns me now. That's why I'm having this conversation in the middle of the night. But I love you all as well. I do. That's why I have these conversations. So I'm asking folks in the bestest, most politest way, are you moving on your path to enlightenment? Or do you see a progress? Or are you just like happy that you're on the road, happy that you found it, happy that you found other folk? All these are good things now. I got to stress this. This is a good thing. But there is a point to which this good thing turns into a bad thing, because you're not moving in the direction you should be. You're just going around in circles. You're still on the path. It's still enlightenment. It's still good, but you're not making the progress you should be. Not my judgment. I got to tell you, it ain't my judgment. It's their call. But I'm telling you, there have been hitting me hard upside the backside, head side, and other places that I need to speak with you about this. Can you do that nitty gritty work? Can you look inside yourself and go, wow, Dave's probably crazy as frick. Why should I listen? What is this on the road, on the path to enlightenment in circles? What the hell? If I'm on the path, I must be going in the right direction. That's why I'm having this conversation, folks. There are those of you who feel the motion, but it's not you're going around in circles. The circle's a good circle. Yeah, you could bitch with me and argue with me and all that. And okay, I'm just the communicator. I'm just the guy that's passing this message on to you. But if you're going to argue with me in this video, then I would submit that you probably are fooling yourself. That's what they're telling me right now. If you're going to argue with me in this video, you need to do some homework then. It's not my call. I don't know you. I don't know what your reaction to this video is going to be. But if you take offense to it, then you may be going in circles, because this is constructive criticism. I'm telling you, I'm proud you're on the road. I'm telling you, I'm proud that you understand the enlightenment. I am very proud, and so are the creator spirits and so forth, the angels and the guides. They're all proud, but they also want you to move forward, not a circle. They want you to learn the next step, not just keep rehashing the same thing over. So please, I implore you, please look at your spot on the path. I'm sure that if you're listening to me, you are on a spiritual path. I'm sure of it. I'm positive. Not my judgment call as to where you are. That's not the point. Are you just standing still? Are you grouped with 2 or more and you've created this wonderful little circle? It's a good thing. But are you and the people in that circle, are you still in the same location you were when you first formed your little circle? Have you moved down the road at all? Have you gained any more enlightenment? But are you still rehashing the same thing over again? Have you moved on? I can't answer that. It's not my place to even try to answer that for you. Okay. I'm just here to try to help find a way to express some guidance for you. Make sure that you're moving. It's not how fast. Your circle of two or three or five or 20 or 100 people, you can keep sharing this wonderful energy, but is the group moving down the road? Or is the group still in the same spot after 2 years? Or is it still going around in the same? You still rehashing and you say, oh, that's really, yeah, I still believe that. Yeah. But everybody's still talking about the same damn thing. Have any of you taken that other step? It's only got to be a half an inch. It ain't got to be a mile. But are you moving forward? Are are you progressing? Forward is sort of like, I don't know. But are you progressing? Are you looking for more than, or have you found a comfort spot? And that everybody else is here, we're all comfy and everything's hunky dory. That's a good thing. But are you stuck? And I got folks that are mad at me because I'm even bringing this up. And I mean this with the utmost of respect to all of you beings. Are you stuck on your path of enlightenment? Because I look around, I mean, I got stuck. I admit it. And I keep having these discussions with folks so that maybe you'll look at your own self and say, son of a bitch, maybe I am stuck. I can't answer it for you, but I do know there are a lot of stuck folks. I'm being told, I'm being shown, and I'm having this conversation because I'm worried for y'all. Keep going. Explore it further. Just don't go back over the same thing because it feels comfortable to you. In order for you to progress on this journey, on this path of enlightenment, you got to go out of your comfort zone. You got to push a limit you might not even know that exists. You got to step out there. And I don't mean, oh, well, I'm going to go take mushrooms and have an hallucinogenic thing. No, it might include that, but that's not necessarily what I mean. But if you wish to go into it, find someone that you can go to. Find someone that you can go meditate with. Find a shaman. Find a spiritual person. Go sit in the woods for 3 days by yourself. Do hermetic type of things. Be a hermit for a week. I mean, seriously, turn all your devices off. If you're still scrolling through your phone and you still sleep with it by your head at night, you're not moving down that path. Your enlightenment, you're stuck. You're stuck in this computer age because you're allowing the electronics to siphon your energy off. You're allowing other things to distract you. You're having to make choices. I did a video about this earlier, about choices. You know, people are prisoners of their choices every day. You have to make choices about your cell phone. You have to make choices of who to text or who to forward or who to whatever. We're spending so much time with useless decisions of things that really don't matter in this world. It's not really important. We make it important. It's an app on our phone. We spent 4 hours searching for the son of a bitch, and I better use it. But the thing is like, but that's the whole point. Oh, but I'm being spiritual. I'm doing a reading tonight. Yeah, but what was the rest of your day like? Are you still stuck? You heard the call for spiritualness. You see it. You understand a good portion of it. But you're just standing on that path. You're not moving. You're just standing there. I'm on it. I see it. I'm aware. Okie dokie. But you're just standing there. You gotta move. Hopefully, in a forward direction, in a progressive method. If everybody else is moving in the same direction on this path, towards enlightenment, then we should move towards it, not just find the path and go, "Ooh, I'm here. I'm going to let the path is not a conveyor belt. You got to move yourself along it. You must reach enlightenment for yourself. Yes, I'm here. We have discussions. My help to help others find that shortcut, how to understand that the galactic energy is always available. But when you're sidetracked with stupid decisions on a day to day basis about your cell phone and all these other things, some of them are important, but you got to do your homework. What of this is really important? I'm wasting my time with things that I really is it's when you look at the big picture, it's stupid. I know folks that I've done this, spend a day on looking through the app store and playing with stuff. Yeah, but what good did it do you? Was it entertaining? Well, okay, you were bored or something, but there were other things you could have been bored doing. It siphoned your energy. You made decisions, you made choices, you did all these things. And what did you end up with at the end of all of that? A new app on your phone that, like me, I've discussed it. I've erased more apps than I've ever used. In fact, I've erased 10 times more apps than I use on this machine or on a phone because I just thought it was cool. So people have these cool things that they tinker with and that swipes their mind. It steals their energy. You're not thinking about the source. You're not thinking about the betterment of mankind. You're not thinking about peace. You're thinking about an app on your phone. It's stealing your energy. Are you moving down the path of enlightenment? Or are you stuck? I can't answer that. But I can tell you that if you haven't taken care of certain things, they're looking down at you. They're not judging in the way to say, well, these fools. No, because it all adds up to frequency. The folks who are watching us fools down here on this red road, on the path to enlightenment, they want to know what's going on with the little circles of folks. Why aren't these people moving down the road? Because they're stuck. It's mutually agreeable. It's a nice place. It's a nice feeling. And it is. But are you making progress? Have you stepped out of your comfort zone in any kind of way and said, oh, holy crap. Oh, but wait a minute. I realize why I'm here now. It's a toughie. Some folks have. Now, I know I go back over some things and I rehash some things. And there will be those of you who would argue with me that, well, Dave, you keep bringing this up. Yeah, I'm bringing this up because this is transition basics. I'm bringing this up into the present as a basic understanding why and what we need to be doing for this transition. So if you're still fiddling with your phone and if you're still worried about all these other things, oh yeah, you do your reading. Oh yeah, you go in the chat room. And oh yeah, you hang out with these really groovy people. That is good. But have you made any progress? And the guides are saying, oh, holy crap, we got them to the road. Now they're not moving. They're just standing there now. We got them to the red road. They're on the path to enlightenment. But now they're just sitting there. They're not even really meditating. They're just sitting there. They're going around in circles, creating these vortexes of weird, odd energy that is just literally kind of creating a black hole. That's what they're showing me, So take it as you will. I know I'm not picking on you because I want everybody to go to the same place. We all have to reach this frequency. It's important to me that I have these discussions with you, so that you will understand that there are so many things swiping your energy, swiping your cosmic blessings, swiping the healing from you because you're being distracted. because you're making these dumb choices every day that if you stop and look at what you're doing, they don't make a hill of beans. They really don't. But like I say, I can't answer you that. But there are some people I love dearly, family and friends, that can't put their frickin' phone down. And I worry. They understand about spirit, but they're stuck with that phone. They're wasting their time on frivolous things when they could be studying more about how do I progress? How do I attain more enlightenment? How do I get this? Well, for one thing, you got to attain enlightenment. You have to put certain things down. You have to make concessions. You have to make a promise and keep it to yourself, which means to the higher self as well. When you break your own promise, you're breaking it to the Lord, God, or whoever, creator. When you make a promise, God promised I'm going to change that, and then you don't. You backslide. Are you hurting anybody else? Well, maybe in what you do in your behavior, but to the point, if you make a promise to yourself, then keep it. But at the same time, never make a promise you can't keep. So, what I learned in psychology all them years ago, don't know if they're still teaching it, but one of the things that if you wish to make progress, then you set a goal you can reach. In other words, say for example, you're on a diet. Now, I weigh 250 pounds. I'm 170 now. I understand what being overweight is. Okay. I was 75 pounds overweight. I've been there. I set out with, I'm going to lose 2 pounds this week. And I did. I ended up losing almost 5 the first week. I'm going to lose 5 pounds the next week. Now, even though I had already lost 5 pounds, and I maybe could have lost more than 5, I didn't set my goal any higher. I said, I'm going to try for 5. I made it 5 this week when I was shooting for 2 or 3. I'm going to shoot for 5, and if I get 3, I'm going to be happy. I hit 3. So after 3 or 4 weeks, I've lost 20 pounds. Now, if I'd have said, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, that was too big of a goal for me to reach. I said 2 pounds. I said 3 pounds. I said 5 pounds. And then when I realized that I could reach those goals, I achieved them, which made me feel better, which gave me more confidence, which etc. But if I were to set, now I knew that my goal, I wanted to get back to down 200 pounds. So I didn't tell myself I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I said I'm going to lose 2 pounds and 2 pounds and 2 pounds and 2 pounds. So every single week I saw progress. It was a positive force. I was moving in the direction I wished. Even though in the back of my head, I want to get back to 200 pounds, which meant losing 50. I chose to do it at 2 pounds, small increments, so I could achieve it. All right. I didn't say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. No. Well, I've got 2 months to go. So that's that's 25 pounds a month. No, I didn't go there. I just said, I'm going to stick with 2 pounds a week. Do my best. At being 75 pounds overweight, 2 pounds a week was really, I didn't think was that much of a deal. But to the point I achieved it, I could stick with it. I saw progress. I felt better. And I ended up losing. And now I'm back down to the weight I'm supposed to be at about 172 pounds. Yes, it took work. Yes, it took willpower. But the thing is I made up my mind and I stuck with it. I made the decision. I'm going to lose these 2 pounds. And I'm not going to gain them back. Once I lose them, that's it. So there was a time I overate a little bit, went to a party, drank some beer. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to fast for the next day or so because I wish to achieve this 2 or 3 pound goal. So set a goal that you can reach. That's the smart thing to do. That's what a lot of people don't do. So if you want to cut down on your phone use, turn it off for an hour a day. Every day, turn it off. I mean, shut the damn thing off for an hour. Now, if you're expecting a call, don't do it then. If you're in the middle of a business transaction and you're waiting, no. But if you ain't doing nothing and you're sitting around the house watching TV, turn it off. Turn it off for an hour. Start small. Start doing it. Start getting used to it. Start doing these things on small incremental ways. If you don't do anything at all, you're stuck on the path. And so many people are stuck. Yes, you're on the path. Yes, it's the path of enlightenment. Yes, all those I love you thingies. Oh, it's all really good. But you're going in frickin' circles on the road. You're not making any headway because you haven't made those hard choices yet. You might have your core value in the right place, but you're still allowing all this bullshit to ruin your life, stress you out, get all this other kind of stuff, go make you look in crazy corners and waste your time, because what you're doing is you're going around in circles because you've gotten into a rut, if you will. Now the rut isn't going down the road, the rut is a circle. And folks are just digging a deeper rut. They're on the path, they got the enlightenment, but they're in a rut, in a circle. Breaking dawn. Oh my goodness. Howdy there. Wow, you're up late like me or early or something. Yep. So it's like, I love you all. I do with all of my heart and soul. I have these, these conversations with spirit. I see these, visions, if you will, these dream states. And then I get instructions. You need to tell these folks what's happening, because we wish them to progress. Yes, everybody's on the road. Y'all get a gold star for that. And I mean that with the utmost of respect and honesty. But are you making progress? And I'm sorry, but there are a lot of people who think they're making progress, but they're simply going around in a circle. They feel the motion, they feel the good energy, and all that's good. But are you making progress? That is what they want to know. It's not, we can have a conversation, you and me, but I care. But this isn't about a race about me being further along than you. That's not it. It's not where we are on the road. Is that, are we making progress on the road? Doesn't have to be a mile. Doesn't have to be a half a mile. It doesn't even have to be a foot. It can be an inch. But are you moving? That's what's important. That's the message I'm getting from the angels. There are people just in motion, and you're not progressing. There are other things that somehow, I think it's sort of like kids with a new toy. And I'm not, just stick with me with this analogy. I've pissed off people. I know I have, but hear me out. You're new to this. You've gotten onto this journey. And I say new, I'm at this for 50 years. So unless you're my age and you've been doing this as long as me, then you're new at this. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm better at it, but I do have the wisdom of 50 years. So these folks who are on this now, they've got some really, really damn good ideas. Their energies are good. But at the same point, they're just going around in circles. They found the path, and they've gone all these wonderful things, and they have found this wonderful little collective. Everybody's happy. It's like a new toy, and everybody's playing. It's really wonderful and groovy. And why? Well, we think we're moving, but are you? I'm just the guy to ask the question. I can't answer it for you, and not trying to. But are you making progress? The angels are saying there are a lot of you guys down here that are fooling yourselves, that because you're moving, you think you're moving forward when you're basically moving in a circle. Yeah, you're on the road. Yeah, I'm repeating myself again. Yeah, you're on the road and everything, but are you making forward progress? Or are you just sitting where you're at? So it is a big issue, because if you're going around in a circle, then you're not creating the frequency that is necessary for what is happening now and the transitions. Okay? It's about changing our frequency. So if you're just in a nice little pile going around and around, nobody's getting any benefit of this. You're all, everybody's all lovey-dovey, hug a tree, and everything's groovy. That's cool, but you need to move on down the road. Maybe there's something else. It's really nice to feel this collective energy, but this ain't all it is. We got to keep going down the road. Now, I find myself on the road. I'm not looking at where other people are. I'm not. To me, this ain't a competition. The competition is with myself. Can I make it to where that enlightenment is? I don't know where it is on the road. I don't know how far it is ahead of me, but I see that light. I see the sky lit up. I see the end of the tunnel, if you will. But at the same point, I don't know if the guy in front of me is actually ahead of me or not. We're both on the same road, but where my position is, maybe he just got there and we're just on the same road and he just got plunked there. But does that make him ahead of me? Am I behind him on the road? No, that's not what I look at. What I look at are the people who are standing still on the road. That's what bothers me. And that's what the angels are saying should be bothering other people. Are you making motion? Are you moving forward? Or are you just moving? You feel the wind in your hair, but, are you looking off to the sides of the road? I mean, is that mountain in the same place that it was a year ago? Son of a bitch, it ain't moved. Well, it wasn't supposed to move. You were the one that was supposed to move. Oh, shit. Perception. It's in the same place. Still on the road. Still feel the enlightenment. I still feel the love. But I ain't moved. That mountain's still there. Or whatever the landmark is. The fence post. Whatever it is. Son of a bitch. I just had two people walk past me. Now, does that mean they're further down the road? No. It means they're moving towards the enlightenment. They're moving forward on their path. It's not whether or not they're further along or if they know more or less. That's not the issue. Because each one of us are on this road for whatever reason. I mean, I always considered myself last in line. When everybody went to the cafeteria, I didn't try to be first in line. No, there was always a fight. I just waited till everybody else went. I just jumped in line. A lot of times they would say, well, you're the last one in line. Here's an extra piece of pie. I always got extra being the last in line. I never got shortchanged. There were those times. But at the same time, I always felt like I don't need to fight to be first about this. It's not about being first. It's about finishing. I'm going to finish this race. I don't care if I'm first. Don't care if I'm last. I care if I finish. Doesn't matter about who else is in the race with me. I don't really consider it a race. I feel it a personal contest for each of us. So each of us find this path of enlightenment. But are we moving down it? I'm moving forward. I keep getting new information. I keep thinking, well, I guess I've probably learned everything there is to know. Then they give me these dreams to have conversations about being stuck on the red road. I mean, it's like, well, but does it have to do with me personally? What has this got to do with Dave? It has to do with my own enlightenment. I've caught myself standing still on the red road. I have stood still for a long time, years past. I knew I was on it. I was aware of all these things, but I wasn't making any progress. Even though in my heart I thought I was, but in actuality, Dave was going in circles. Literally, circles. I attained information and I slowly inched my circle up the road or towards enlightenment, however you want to look at this. Then I realized, oh, holy crap. And now I'm being shown, and I really don't want to look. I'm here to tell you, there are times I've gone into some chat rooms that I've been going to for years, and I go in there and they're talking the same shit. Nobody's on a different subject. There isn't any more enlightenment within this group of folk. They're all beautiful people, but it's all the same stuff. Nobody's gone beyond the same topic. It's the same stuff. And I'm going, all right, guys, I respect every single one of you folk. I do. But why are you rehashing this? Haven't you already learned this part of the lesson? Next. And then I go back and it's like, some bitch, they're at it again. They're rehashing something. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go. Next chapter. Come on. Hey, let's push this envelope. You go back. And I mean, I'm involved in a bunch of groups. And I go in and I sometimes I participate and other times I just watch. And I watch a lot. I'm observant. And I love these people. They have beautiful intents and everything. But at the same point, they're still asking the same freaking question 3 years later. I don't know how, that's why I come up with this thing. People are worried too much about their past. If you're worried about where you've been, you can't be looking about where you're going or where you're at because you're looking backwards. You gotta look forward. Yes, understanding the past is cool. And I've had, discussions on this too. But as we move forward, the past will become evident to us. That's what the angels are saying. Stop focusing on the past so much. Don't let it be all your life. Well, I can't move forward until I know if it was Enlil or Enki. Forget about it. They're characters. None of us really freaking know. It's a story that's been convoluted over centuries, millennia. Okay, it's a good story. It's nice. We came from somewhere back there. Okay, fine. Forget the finer points. We're wasting our energy on all that crap. We're not looking forward. We're not looking for the next challenge in our spiritual growth. We're worried about where we came from. Like I said, it's important. But there's too much importance put on the past now and not enough on the future. And that's got some angels a little concerned with y'all because they see you on the path. They see you with this spark of enlightenment, but they also see you going around in circles. So I love you. I love you with all my heart, soul, and my soul heart. I love you. I do. I care for you. That's why I have these conversations. I never ask anybody to click, like, share, or any of that. I'm not monetized. Dave never asked for anything except that you pay attention to yourself and whether or not any of this discussion has any relevance or importance to you. I hope it does. I pray that it does. I hope that it will at least stimulate the thought. I mean, because even after 50 years of me going down this, I still gain knowledge from these little incidents. Dave, are you stuck? Am I going around in circles? I question myself all the time. And it's not about taking leaps and bounds. It's about, am I moving in a direction towards it, or am I just making the motions? And I have found myself just making motions a lot of times. And I got to slap myself out of it and go, hey, wait. There's something else to this. So whether it's internal or external, sometimes I have to spend days on the internet checking out different facts on things. And then I get the information that I need. Then I get the downloads from the angels. Then I get the wisdom of the ancients. And then I can have a conversation with y'all about, hey, were you aware of this? Were you aware, and I'm looking at it from my point of view. I'm looking at it, am I moving down the red road, or am I doing little dancy circles? Am I, my own little vortex of weirdness that isn't moving towards the energy, towards enlightenment? Or am I stuck in my own little world? So I question myself constantly, but with anticipation. I used to look at myself and curse myself and cuss myself and call myself an idiot. And then I realized how bad what I was doing to myself, and I had to cut that mess out. So self-flagellation, you got to beat yourself up. I was a good Catholic, you got to beat yourself up so the Lord will accept you, kind of crap. Okay. So, but the thing is that when I started beating myself up, when I stopped beating myself, when I realized what I was doing, I stopped it and said, hang on. Now, I might have been a little silly in one of my decisions or thoughts or something, but I'm not stupid. So why should I continue to call myself stupid? So when I started looking at the positive, okay, I'm just a regular human being. All right. But then I had to go the next step. Actually, if I just stop it, I'm a human being, then I will never realize that I am a spiritual being as well. So if I just stop saying, well, yeah, I'm a human being on this earth, yeah, that's all there is to it, then I'm not going any further down that road of enlightenment, because I've limited myself to I'm a meat bag here on this 3D planet. When you start thinking that you are more, I am more than this sum of body parts. I am a spiritual being. There is wisdom in that, and not because of how old I am, but because when I tune myself into the cosmic energy, I can feel the knowledge of the universe. I can feel the wisdom flowing through me. But now the wisdom of the universe, it has to apply to this world, to this life, to my life, to this reality, to what it relates to with other people. So the knowledge of the ancients is universal, absolutely. But at the same time, that knowledge, it might be good on Venus or Jupiter or the moon, one of the moons of Saturn. But what does that do, Dave or Hawkeye or anybody else here on this plane, this planet? What does that wisdom do for us? What good does it do us, whether or not we're from Enlil or Enki or anybody, as to where we're headed? You want to turn around and walk backwards towards the light? Because that's basically what we're doing. We're focused so much on where we've been or what was down that road somewhere in the past. We're going to stumble and fall in the mud because we're not looking where we should be going. Maybe that makes sense. We're walking backwards down the path of enlightenment. How can we see the light when we're looking towards the past? The past is important. I'm going to say this for the last time in this video. The past is important, not now. Stop so much focusing on what was. Focus on what is now and what the future can be, could be, will be, in a positive way. We put our intentions forward. Yeah, we listen for the past, but we stick our intentions to the future. To the future. What is coming? I wish to manifest peace and love and harmony. That's in my future. That's what I hope for all. And the people that I know and hang out here and on other channels, their core values are all the same. But we as a collective, and singularly, most definitely, our frequencies must reach a certain point or we ain't going. Not any of us. We Now, those of us with the right frequency, yeah, we get to go to first grade. And the rest of us are just going to have to stay in kindergarten. But my point is, none of us are going to move into first grade until we get our frequency right. It collectively, it's helping, but each individual of us, we are going to be judged by our deeds because whether or not our frequency is of the correct level. So when we work in service to others, when we think of others before ourselves, that raises our vibrations. Now we can be a collective group and think of other people. That's groovy. But are we moving? Is that energy actually gotten stagnated because it hasn't progressed itself? It's hard for me to try to make folks understand this, to see inside my little pea brain. But just understand, I wish the best for all of us. But if 502 is the frequency that gets us into first grade, then we got to hit, every single one of us has got to hit 502. If a bunch of us hit 499, we can watch you through the window, but we ain't going. We can be close, but no pickle. So are you on the road? Yes. Is it enlightenment? Most probably. But are you moving in the direction of the frequency that's going to be required for each one of us to make this jump, for each one of us to make the transfer, for each one of us to go into first grade? Because we're in kindergarten now. Okay? So with that, I got a butt cramp that won't quit. I got to move. I did a Facebook video before I started this one, so I've been on the air for 5 years. Patrick, hello. Breaking Dawn, I guess you're still there. Much love and many blessings to you and all of you. And I'm sorry, but I'm checking out. I got a butt cramp. And I want something to drink. And I've been at this for 4 hours now. But please go back to the beginning and see if this makes any sense. But I want us all, I see so many folks on this beautiful path to enlightenment, but just make sure that you're moving. Please don't stand still. Please move, okay? Shuffle your feet, if you will. It's not how far you move, it's the fact that you do. And with each one of us, with our intent and our focus on the future, stop arguing about Enki and Enlil. I've had enough of this, okay? All right already. Let's move. Who's in the future for us, What can we manifest up yonder? I can't change what them assholes did in the past, or whether the two brothers fought, or if it was in the Bible. It doesn't matter, because what's important is what's ahead of us. And we got to stick with that, Like I say, past is important, just not now. Okay? We need to focus more on our future. We need to stay with that focus. And the past we're going to learn it. It's going to come, but it isn't important for our future. What's important for our future is what we do at this moment and from this present position, right this second, forward. What do you wish to manifest? I'm going to manifest peace. I'm going to manifest honor. I'm going to manifest respect. I'm going to continue to manifest love for all beings in all dimensions. And I'm going to keep saying, I love you all. And my butt hurts. I got a cramp. Good night. Good night, Breaking Dawn. Done with them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Love to all of you. And I will check you out later. And I, with my humblest, sincerest things, this is, I'm not judging you all, but just make sure you're moving. Okay. Make sure that we're manifesting the future for all of us. Okay. And not just stuck in a, our little circle on the road. So be kind, continue your work. Everything's groovy. Just make sure that you're progressing. Okay. That's the message from the angels, okay, and mine. So I love you all. See you later with love, honor, and respect to all of you. My heart, soul, and my soul's heart to you in 3, 2,